Yeah, and welcome to another video. I'm Brett Papa, and today is gonna be awesome. So in the last, 6 months, I've started accumulating real guitar cabinets again, and man, it's been freaking awesome. My buddy Tom Bukovac left me some preamps and some mics and all that stuff. He's like, man, record with a real mic with real preamps. You're gonna love it, I promise. And I was like, all right. So I hooked everything up, recorded, and I was like, oh my God, it sounds amazing. It does. There is a real thing to it. But, and this is a big but, a lot of us can't crank a 100-watt amp in a room and record and do all that stuff without getting kicked out of our entire neighborhood, right? And you definitely can't do that a lot of times on stage anymore. So there's a number of companies that have come up with awesome devices, like Boss has Waza, Universal Audio has the Aux, which I am a ginormous fan of. I've been using them for years and years and years. Love them. And then there's other live situations. My favorite one for a live scenario is the Fryette Power Station. Amazing, amazing, amazing solution to control the volume of a loud amp or bring up the volume of a quiet amp in a live scenario. So what we're gonna do today, people comment on my tone all the time saying they love the tone, what cabinet or how are you miking it or whatever. I haven't used a cabinet on this channel in 5 years, probably. Since I still lived in Southern California, I was already using an aux way back then. So every tone, with the exception of like 3 videos, has all been through the Universal Audio aux. I cannot speak highly enough of those things. They are probably my favorite guitar invention in the last 15 years, if not, it is my favorite thing. They're just freaking amazing. So what we're gonna do today is I have the ability to run the exact same scenario. So Tom left me some API preamps, a couple of mics, a Royer 121 and a 57. Those preamps are API preamps. They sound freaking awesome. He's totally converted me into an API fiend. I was a Neve guy. I still am a Neve guy, but I had both of them, Neve and API, back to back. And a few guys in town are like, dude, API. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so I finally plugged into it and I was like, oh my God, APIs are amazing. So right now I'm an API guy, but both sound great. The Apollo, which I record into, can simulate mic preamps. So they have a host of preamps that you can buy or that come with Apollos when you get them. They're called Unison preamps. They're freaking awesome. So inside of that, there is an API preamp just like the one you see over here. And inside the aux, they have a lot of different cabinet simulations you can do. So you can do like 112, 212, 412, open back, close back, the whole myriad, like different speakers, vintage 30s, greenbacks, whatever. So there is a 412 with greenbacks inside of the aux. I use the one called the Punch Cab all the time. I typically use a 57 mic and a Biodynamic, I think, 160 on my cabs inside of the aux. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna use a Royer 121 and a 57. So the aux lets you have 2 close mics and 1 room mic. I'm not gonna set up a room mic for this, but you'll get the idea. I mean, we're in a room, so I don't necessarily need to simulate the space. So we can basically run the 2 identical setups. Now, you'll probably hear a difference. Not that one's gonna be good or bad. Some people say the aux has more of a high end or whatever to it. They both sound fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play through the real cab, jam on it a little bit. Then I'm gonna plug it into the aux, jam on it a little bit, and let you hear what they sound like raw. Okay, and so like what one sounds like wah, I like wahs too. What one sounds like raw, and then after that, I'm gonna play some stuff where you don't see what I'm using, and I'm gonna EQ it and add effects to it. And then I wanna see how close we can get them to sound just like each other, and if you can tell which is which. Okay, so I'm gonna leave links down below to the gear I'm using. Some of them are affiliate links, like the Sweetwater stuff. Divided by 13 stuff, I don't get any commission off of those. I just have been a huge fan forever, since I worked there a million years ago. Love the amps, got nothing to do with that, but they're amazing. So just look for those wherever you can buy them. I don't know, I'm sure they got a dealer's list on their website. Okay, so anyways, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna start playing and let you hear both. And then at the end, you tell me which is which. Put it in the comment section down below. Okay, let's get to it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing, but I'm not gonna show me playing, and I'm just gonna give you sound examples, A or B. Tell me which one you think is the one with the amp with the aux, and which one you think is the real mic preamps and the real mics. I'm gonna EQ them, and I'm going to add some verb and delay, and tell me if you can tell which one is which. And again, all this is just relative to what you're doing. I mean, can you tell after a whole band is playing in the mix which one is which? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, there's plenty of songs out there on the radio at this point where there's playing through an aux, and you probably cannot tell which is which. If you're there in the room and you're feeling them right there in context with nothing else other than just hearing the guitar, it's easier to tell, but once it's in context, it gets a little tougher. So again, I'm gonna leave some affiliate links below for the Sweetwater stuff, for like the API gear and some of the mics and all that kind of stuff. If you wanna help out the channel, that is one way that you can do it. Also, brettpapa.com. There are tons of guitar lessons, both from myself and tons of other world-class players down there. So check that out. We have some just incredible courses getting ready to drop that I'm super pumped about. We got another one from my buddy Justin Ostrander. We got an incredible course from Guthrie Trapp coming out, and Tom Bukovac and Ariel Posen. So those are Ariel Posen. Those are all ones I'm super pumped checking out. And then we have tons of other people there like Jack Roosh, Mark Lettieri, Kirk Fletcher, Tim Pierce, Corey Congilio, Jeff McErlane, like on and on and on and on. Tons of world-class instruction. So check that out at brettpapa.com. That is what funds everything that you see here. All right, so let me know in the comment section below, what is the amp and what is the aux? All right, I'll catch you next time.